Boys and girls, we're going to read our letter book together today, and Miss Carswell is going to sign as I read the story about Wacky Walrus. Once upon a time, deep in the white wilderness of Wyoming, there lived a woolly walrus named Wacky, who had a wig and whiskers. Her name was Wacky because she did wacky, silly things like waltzing and wiggling. Have you ever heard of a walrus doing that? Wacky lived in a wigwam. The wigwam kept her warm in the winter. She had a little friend named Wiggly Worm. Wacky would pull Wiggly in his little worm wagon, and together they would whistle and whisper and wink. One day, Wiggly Worm decided to play a trick on Wacky. Wiggly wandered away and hid in some weeds. Wacky looked and looked and looked for Wiggly. She called, "Wiggly! Wiggly, where are you?" When Wacky could not find the worm, she sat down and wept. Wow, wow, wow! Finally, Wiggly made some little sounds. What, 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 what? And Wacky found him in the weeds. Wiggly enjoyed his trick so much that the next day he hid again. This time he hid in a pile of wood. Wacky looked and called, "Wiggly! Wiggly, where are you?" Wacky even looked in the weeds where Wiggly was before, but there was no worm there. Wow, 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 she wept again. Soon, Wiggly made his little sound from the wood. Wah, wah, wah. And Wacky found him again. By now, Wiggly was enjoying all the trouble he was causing. The next day, he wiggled away and went into the waves in the water. Wacky looked and looked, and again she wept when she couldn't find Wiggly. Wow, 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 wow! Wiggly made his sound from the water. Wah, wah, wah! And Wacky discovered where he was. Wacky was very weary of Wiggly's tricks and tried to watch him so he would not disappear again. But being very weary, she fell asleep. This time, Wiggly wiggled off to an old washing machine. When Wacky could not find him, she wept even louder. Wow, wow, wow! Later, she heard him in the washing machine. What, 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 what? Wacky asked Wiggly, why are you wandering away? Wiggly told Wacky that he wanted a wigwam just like hers. If he had one, he would never wander away again. So, Wacky and Wiggly worked together to make a white, woolly wigwam for Wiggly. Now, they are always together. Wiggly never wanders away anymore, and Wiggly and Wacky waltz and walk and waddle and whirl and whistle together all week long. The end.